Bien qu'exclusive à la 360 de Microsoft, la série des Forza reste pour beaucoup de joueurs la simulation de course ultime. Reconnue et appréciée pour son réalisme et son authenticité, cette dernière se permet aujourd'hui un petit écart avec Forza Horizon, un spin-off beaucoup plus orienté action, même si la profondeur caractéristique des Forza semble toujours présente, comme nous l'explique Dan Greenawalt, directeur créatif à Turn 10.
Forza Horizon we call an action racing game. And we specifically don't use the word arcade because arcade games traditionally have had a lack of depth. It's nothing wrong, they're fun, but Forza is about depth. It's about having authenticity. It's about having different levels of accessibility. So if you're an 8-year-old kid and you just want to get in and drift cars around, or even if you're an, 40-year-old and you want to get around and drift in the cars, there are assists that make it very easy. But if you're looking for that bond with the car where you're technically finding the excellence and seeing the difference in every car, you can turn off the assists and there's a deep simulation engine underneath all of it. So the style of driving is different. It's not necessarily about shaving a tenth of a second off of your hot lap time on Le Mans. It's about having a good time and exploring an open road, going to a summer music festival, having freedom. But the depth is always there.
De la profondeur et de la liberté donc, appuyée par une dimension open world sur laquelle le studio insiste.
When we wanted to approach this as an open world game, instantly we looked for inspiration in some of the other great open world games. And so that's Assassin's Creed and Red Dead Redemption, Skyrim, Oblivion. There are great open world games out there, and there are some that are open world that aren't so great. So the key is to find the right inspiration. And we have hidden things throughout this entire world, as well as emergent gameplay. So if you think about the feathers in Assassin's Creed, there are hidden areas in Horizon where you can collect upgrade signs, for example, and they get you a discount on upgrades. There are also hidden barn finds. There's a radio station in the game, and as you're driving around, you'll hear over the radio the DJ say, "Hey, we heard a rumor that there's a classic car over by the dam." And you have to go search it out and explore till you find this classic car sort of buried under junk in a barn. And if you find it, it'll be recovered, it'll be restored and added to your garage. There are other things, spread throughout the world, like Red Dead Redemption, where you might be going along the trail and you'd be ambushed by some guys that were robbing a stagecoach and they turn on you. We have racers that are driving throughout the entire world that you can challenge at any time, and they'll take you all over the map. So really, the goal is to help people get lost in this big world and just have a great time. Forza Horizon takes place around a summer music festival, and the moment we knew we wanted a summer music festival, we knew it had to be a beautiful place with lots of diversity and a vast, vast open world. So we looked at 30 different locations and settled on Colorado for two reasons. One, it has some amazing driving roads. But two, it has incredible diversity in the environment. So you have the red rocks and the snowy mountains, you have ski towns and urban areas, crags, aspen groves, rivers, dams. It's a very diverse area. There are hundreds of miles of roads to explore. So this is a giant world. To capture it, we sent guys on location for 3 weeks, and they went all over the state of Colorado, the Four Corners area. They took videotape, cameras, and photographs so that we could recreate it authentically while making it original so that we could make every single road a wonderful driving experience. We've been making racing games a long time, both teams. Playground Games comes out of Codemasters, and they have tremendous pedigree making Dirt, Grid, Colin McRae, 15 years of development experience for most of the people there. Turn 10, same thing, we've been making racing games a long time. But this is the first time either team has made a vast open world game. And for us, we needed to be humble and start learning from great games like Assassin's Creed and the like. So we had to learn a lot there. So we actually hired people from Rockstar, we hired people from all over the world to help us learn how to make not a great open world driving game, a great open world game, regardless of driving or not. And that was a huge challenge. We had to learn a lot.
Pour ce spin-off, Turn 10 a également décidé de mettre l'accent sur la relation que peut entretenir un joueur avec sa ou ses voitures, notamment en revoyant le système d'upgrade et de récompense.
I've had the opportunity to travel around the world with the Forza franchise and meet a lot of people in a lot of different cultures. And the one thing I found that's universal is that cars speak to people. The thing that's not universal is how they speak to people. Different cultures, different countries are into small hatchbacks, big muscle cars, might be into supercars, sports cars, race cars. And Forza Horizon has this variety of cars, from big trucks like the Ford SVT Raptor, which is great in an off-road world, or cars like the Subaru STI, which is also great in off-road but is more sport compact car. What I expect is for people to follow their own path and follow their own passion. If you're into a hot hatchback, maybe a GTI or a Peugeot, then that's something that you can explore, and the car is never made redundant. The car is never useless because the upgrades and the car classification system, the painting. So if you develop a love affair with some small car, there's no reason to throw it away when a high-end car like a Ferrari or a Bugatti becomes available. You can continue that love affair for months and months and months. And of course with DLC, downloadable content, new cars are added. And the key with having a game with this longevity is 2-3 months after the game is launched, if the game has exhausted all of its tricks and now there's only Bugattis and it's only high-end racing, there's no reason to get the DLC because the car is instantly disposable. So building a system that rewards all cars, that celebrates all cars, and hopefully gets you to fall in love with the one that speaks to you, that's what's critical.
Bien évidemment, à l'instar d'un système autologue dans un NFS, ce Forza possède une dimension sociale et multijoueur, fournissant à ceux qui aiment la compétition leur dose de challenge.
Social is baked throughout the entire map in Forza Horizon, so there are hundreds of miles of road to explore, and in there are events all over the world. Now, every one of those events is a rivals mode, which means when I race it, my time's compared to my friends on a leaderboard, and if I beat them, I win money off them. They get a message, they can challenge me back and win money as well. It's asynchronous multiplayer. It's really fun. It was something that was very successful in Forza 4. But there's other types of multiplayer as well. All of those events can be done in competitive multiplayer. And of course, we have playground games, which was something that was in Forza 4, tag, virus, cat and mouse, interesting styles of game. They never made as much sense as they do in an open world. Being able to drive an STI through a golf course, jumping through sand traps, that makes tag much more interesting. And taking a big truck and hiding it in a warehouse so that you can play cat and mouse, using the big open world, it just makes a lot more sense.
Avec son aspect open world visiblement poussé et cette rigueur technique caractéristique des Forza, Horizon n'aura probablement pas de mal à convaincre lors de sa sortie fin octobre. On vous prépare évidemment une critique dans les normes, diffusée à l'occasion d'un 100% à venir.